We shall be talking about the difference between debt and equity. Let us take a simple example. Supposingly, you are planning to open a new business. For a new business venture, we need capital. Capital is required for fixed capital as well as working capital. Fixed capital, you need land, building, plant, machinery, furniture. There's a long list. For working capital also, you need money to invest. You need capital for the same. You have to invest in raw materials and inventories. So the conclusion is that we need money. Let us again suppose that the cost of investment of your business is 25 lakhs. Now how are you going to manage this fund? Either you have your own money, you have your savings, or your parents have given it to you. You are using in your personal money for this business venture, or you are asking someone else from outside to invest in your business. So the options available are either it will be equity or in the form of debt. Let us understand this meaning. What is the meaning of equity? Supposingly, you need 25 lakhs for your business and you already have managed to arrange funds of 20 lakhs. What is balance is 5 lakhs. For this 5 lakh, you have one option. You can issue shares to the general public. You are making someone else the owner of the business to the extent of 5 lakhs. It can be your cousin, your relative, your friend. You are giving the shares of your business to that particular person. You are making that particular person the owner of your business. 20 lakh ownership is with you and the 5 lakh ownership you have given it to the new person. This is called equity of 5 lakhs. As far as the repayment of this 5 lakh is concerned, you do not have to repay it to the owner till the lifetime of the business. If the business gets shut down, you go insolvent, only then the question of repaying this money to the owner, to the person, will arise. Otherwise, if the business is going on, there is no point to pay the money back to the owner. Equity has just to be repaid only when the business gets shut down. The equity shareholders, they will be bearing profit and losses both. If the business is going in good profits, then they may get dividend. Dividend is a share in the profit. But if the business is going in loss, you are not obliged to pay any sort of dividend to the equity shareholders. So they will get their share of profit in the name of dividend if the business is going in profit. If the business is going in loss, you are not to pay any dividend to any of the equity shareholders. Next option you have available with you is debt. Supposingly, you can borrow this 25 lakhs from the bank. Bank is an outsider money for you. You can raise money from the debt instruments. You can issue debentures and bonds. You don't want to raise 25 lakhs from bank and you can manage 20 lakhs on your own. Very well. 5 lakhs you can arrange from the bank. You are not making the bank the owner of your business. In the previous slide, in the equity, you are making the new person the owner of your business to the extent of his sharing. But in this case, you are borrowing the money, the bank or XYZ anybody, he is not going to become the owner of your business. He is just the lender. You do not have to share any sort of profit with the bank. Bank is only lender, he is not the owner. You will remain the sole owner of your business. So who is going to be the owner? The bank is going to be the owner of the business. Sorry, bank is not going to be the owner. I'm extremely sorry. You are going to remain the sole owner of your business. No shares are issued, no equity is distributed. You have the 100% equity. Bank is just the lender. Now, as far as the repayment of this debt is concerned, the set terms and conditions at the time of borrowing, they will be decided and the repayment will be scheduled accordingly. The repayment after 7 years, if it is decided, that means you have to repay the principal amount after 7 years and the interest you have to pay periodically as and when decided. So you create a liability. When you borrow the funds from outside, you are not sharing the ownership, you are creating a liability to the principal and liability of paying interest as per each period. Supposingly, the government also issues bonds and Kisan Vikas Patra to the general public. We people also buy these bonds, okay? And after a stipulated time, say 7.5 years or 8.5 years, you are getting back your original principal with the interest amount included in it. So this is also the government is taking a debt from the people. Now, what does the lender get in return? The lender is going to get interest. If the business is in profit, very well and good, he will get his interest. But if the business is in loss, still the lender will very well get his interest. The lender is least bothered with the functioning of the business. He is not going to intervene in the business. He is not concerned whether you have a flourishing business or you have a loss occurring. He is not bothered. What he is bothered with is his share of interest which he should get periodically. Now see, supposingly you have decided to arrange the funds in the equity method, right? You are sharing 20% equity with the person, okay? He is investing in funds, very well, you are getting the funds and the business is flourishing. Then you are again ready to share more equity with the person and then he is again giving you funds. So it can be possible that you just remain 80% owner. 80% owner of the venture which has grown from 25 lakhs to 1 crore company, because more and more influx of funds was happening, the business was flourishing, you were ready to share your equity, and this is how the business grew up to 1 crore company. But you are not 100% owner, you are just 80% owner of the venture. This is one option. Second option is you are not opting for equity, you are just going in for debt. So in this case, you will be the 100% owner because you are not sharing the ownership with the person, you are just taking debt. Then it can happen that the company is still of 25 lakhs. So here there is a big difference. So this is how a person has in his own mind where does he want to be. He wants to be 80% owner of a 1 crore company, he can go in for equity. He wants to be 100% owner of the same 25 lakh company, he just can go on debt. So what I'm saying is, this is not a prima facie rule that if you go for equity, your company will definitely flourish from 25 lakhs to 1 crore. This is not a prima facie rule for anybody, but just citing an example that it may happen this way, that you may get more of equity, more of influx of funds, and you are just sharing your equity and you may flourish. So this is the capital structure design. You have to decide yourself whether you want to go for equity or you want to go for debt. Now this is how the balance sheet will be revealed. As far as the assets are concerned, you will have the assets, land, building, plant, machinery of 25 lakhs, in which 20 lakhs is of the shares, and this 5 lakh you have taken a bank loan. So all the equity is also mentioned in the balance sheet and all the debt you have taken, that is also very well mentioned in the balance sheet, and this is how your this liability is setting off with your assets with which the business is going to run. We will be comparing now the debt and the equity. The first point comes that the return on the debt which the lender is going to receive is the interest. He will be getting interest hopefully every month, okay, with the stipulated rate of interest which is decided very well in the beginning at the time when you take the debt. And what do the equity shareholders get in return? They get dividend. There is no point of interest. The share of profit which the equity people get is called dividend. Second point is that the debt is repayable as per the set terms and conditions. It will be done in writing and it will be very clear, the rate of interest and the repayment years, in how many years the principal amount has to be repaid. But in case of equity, it is not repayable during the working lifetime of the company. You don't have to repay the funds of the equity. Buyback of shares is an exception which can be considered separately, but if the business is running, so there is no question of repayment of equity. Third point is that you have to repay the interest. You have also to repay the principal even if the business is in loss or in profit. It is immaterial to the lender. The lender is least concerned whether your business is flourishing or your business is in loss. He is not bothered. He is just bothered with the amount of interest he is going to get monthly, and of course his principal is very safe. But in case of equity, there will be no dividend if the company is running in losses, and dividend will be paid only if the company has profit. The share of profit is called the dividend. The lender has no ownership in the business. He has no role, no involvement in the working of the business, the insiding of the business. No, he is not a welcome person in the management of the business because he is just the lender and his role is just limited. But in case of equity shareholders, because they have become the owners of the business, they have the control of the business. They can even intervene in the day-to-day functioning of the business, and equity shareholders, they also offer their valuable experience and expert skill in the business. So that can be a boon for the business. Now, in case of debt, the lender has definitely to ask for a collateral, a security. Only then he will be offering you the money. He will claim to get back that in case of default for the mortgaged asset. Supposing you have an asset and you have mortgaged it to take the debt. So in case of default, the lender is full and final. He has the freedom to mortgage to secure his amount. But no collateral is needed at all in the case of equity because you are sharing the ownership. Debt is a comparatively less risky instrument because the interest is safe, the principal is safe, and there are assured returns. Okay, and there is scheduled repayment of interest as well as of the principal. But in the case of equity, major risk is involved. There is no surety of dividend. There is no obligation to pay the dividend. Dividend is paid, but there is no fixed schedule, only in case of profits, and that too if you not have kept for reserves and all, only then you will be paying for the dividend. So it's a highly risky method. And debt is comparatively cheaper also because less risk is involved. The lender is a very safe position. Equity is a very costly instrument because there is high degree of risk as compared to debt. Further, interest is considered as an expense. You will be showing it in the profit and loss account debit side, and interest will lower the profit and definitely it will lower the tax. And dividend is not shown as an expense. It's paid out of profit. It is a share of the profit. It will not reduce your tax. As I told you earlier, in case of default, the outsiders, they have the first right over the cash and the assets and of course the mortgaged property to recover their payment. And equity shareholders, my God, they don't have any rights in case of default. Their repayment will be the last in the list. And in case the business, God forbid, goes in the insolvency condition, still they have all the rights secured, their money is safe, and these people, they do not have any right before the insolvency situation. Just as I told you, their number is last in the list. Now in this capital structure plan, you have to maintain a balance where the owner wants to go. He wants to opt for debt or he wants to opt for equity. It is his choice. If you are in a hurry to start the business, you want immediate funds, you should go for debt because you will be receiving the money in few weeks. But if you want to retain your ownership, you don't want a dilution in the ownership, you want to be the sole owner, you should definitely go for debt, not for equity. If you do not have any collateral to offer to the lender, then equity is the best bargain for you. And of course, if you do not want to burden yourself, this is how the time passes. Month comes out very soon. If you do not want to burden yourself of loan and interest repayment, then equity is a better option. Further, if you want to gain experience from the skills of the new investor who is going to invest in your business, he can offer you his own expertise, his own skill, then equity is a good option. So just as I told you, this is for the owner to decide whether to go in for debt or equity. So here we come to the end of the article. I hope I have made the things very clear to you. In case you have any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. You want to give me a suggestion, you're more than welcome. Write in the comment section. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed.